Namaskaram to the Gurus, artists, Rasikas, and family members of the performers. It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you today for this year's Kadir Festival. The Kadir Festival was initiated in 2018 by artists and brothers Shri Kalashruta and Shri Dakshinamurti to commemorate the birth anniversary of their father, the late Vidwan Shri T.S. Kadir Pillai, a genius, a maestro, one who has touched the lives of several dancers in Mumbai, and one whose compositions of jatis and complex rhythmic patterns has brought life to several dance performers and dance performances. Today is also a collaboration. This year's Kadir Festival is a collaboration with Srimati Kalaa Srinivasan's Shanmukha Arts, which completes its 15 years this year. Kalaa Srinivasan, a disciple of Srimati Jayashree Nair, vividly remembers having the opportunity to learn under her Paramaguru, Vidwan Shri Kadir Pillai, who was Srimati Jayashree Nair's guru. And it is indeed a blessing that this collaboration is happening on this beautiful day and this beautiful occasion. Art and artists cannot exist in isolation. Collaboration is the need of the hour. It brings about beautiful ideas and brings to life so many more opportunities and lovely creations, which is a treat for the Rasikas and the audience, as well as those who are learning the art form. Today's event is a collaboration of dance, music, and bhakti. We have beautiful presentations here today involving all these three aspects. We have two eminent speakers, 4 dance institutes, and a wonderful orchestra. We have, at the beginning, a lecture by Dr. Meenakshi Iyer Gangopadhyay, who will enlighten us about tradition in Indian classical dance with special reference to the concept of bhakti and its relevance today. I think the dancers in the audience must very closely listen to what she has to say. Dr. Meenakshi Iyer Gangopadhyay, a multifaceted artist and research scholar, trained in bharatanatyam from a very young age. She holds master's degrees in fine arts, commerce, and Indology, besides having a diploma in Sanskrit and a PhD in dance under the guidance of her mentor, Padma Bhushan Dr. Srinivasan. She has been a faculty for more than 28 years at her alma mater, Nalanda Nrityangan Mahavidyalaya, which is a recognized, and she's also a recognized research guide of the University of Mumbai for PhD in dance. She has performed all over India with the Nalanda troupe and has trained several students for their arangetams and performances. She has also choreographed several traditional solo pieces as well as dance ballets. She regularly contributes articles and research papers to academic journals and publications. She conducts workshops and lectures for promotion, propagation, and appreciation of Indian classical dances. And she's a dance critic too. She is the recipient of Nalanda's prestigious Kanaka Natana Puraskar and Shri Nageshwar Rao Scholarship from the University of Mumbai. She has also been awarded the Dance India Exponent Award for Bharatanatyam by the Dance India magazine. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome on stage Dr. Meenakshi Iyer. Gurubhyo Namaha. I'm extremely happy to be a part of Kadir Festival and thank Shri Kalashruta and Srimati Kalaa Srinivasan for inviting me today. I seek the blessings of Kalimamani Vidwan Shri Kadir Velu and my Guru Padma Bhushan Dr. Srimati Kanakreli. I shall be sharing my thoughts today on tradition of Indian classical dance with special reference to the concept of bhakti, its relevance today. Whenever we artists have to present a new creative work, we are always in self-doubt. We are anxious, thinking whether our efforts will be well received, accepted, or whether it will be rejected, criticized. Kalidasa, the doyen of Sanskrit literature,
too had the same anxiety almost 1500 years ago. That is the reason why he began his very first work of literature with Puranamityeva na sadhu sarvam, na chapi kavyam navamityavadyam, santaha parikshyan yatarat bhajante, moodaha parapratyayaneya buddhihi. He says in his Malavikagni, the very first dramatic work of Kalidasa, he says, all poems are not good because they are old. All poems are not bad because they are new. Good and wise people examine both the old and the new, and then they decide whether a poem is good or bad. But only moodhaha, fools, will be blindly led by what others say. Later, of course, the genius Kalidasa came to be recognized as the master of all poets, Kavi Kulaguru, and is today considered to be one of the finest of the classical poets. But at one point of time, his works too were contemporary. It stood the test of time. Until today, it is recognized as a traditional work of art. It is a masterpiece, a traditional masterpiece. This shows that what was contemporary becomes traditional, provided it stands the test of time. Thus, passing the test of time is one of the biggest criterion for being recognized as a part of tradition. The fact that even today, Indian classical dance is alive, vibrant with performances, discussions, innovations, with you and me here today, talking about it, watching performances, discussing. It speaks volumes about the Indian classical dance traditions. Indian classical dances have stood the test of time. Of course, they have changed, but within the traditional framework. Change, as we know, is the only constant factor. And tradition is a flow. It is not stagnant. There is a change happening in traditions also, but with its roots intact, similar to the great banyan tree. The roots are firm, the tree has branches, flowers, similar to the blossoming of a tradition. Also, it must be noted that in one tree, no one flower is similar. They all belong to the same tree, but yet each is different. They have common roots. Indian classical dance too has a classical tradition, the marga that we call. They all have the same roots. They all can be linked to the Natya Shastra, which is the marga or the classical tradition. And the different classical dance styles as we see them today, they are the regional or the deshi variations. They are like those flowers of the huge banyan tree having common roots. The classical dances, each one of them is different from the other. They don't look similar, but they are bound by a common tradition. They have their own identities, similar to the offspring, who takes the attributes of his or her own parents, but they have their own individuality. Dance was one of the 16 forms of worship, Shodashopacharas, the different rituals that were performed in the temple during the Bhakti movement. Classical dance became one of the medium of prayer, of offering prayer to the Lord. Later, as we know, it moved out of the temple onto the stage. Slowly, this spirit or atmosphere of the temple was brought to the auditorium. That is why we see, for example, always the image of Nataraja placed on one side of the stage. It's kept on one side of the stage so that the environment of the temple is created in the auditorium, implying that now the stage is the temple. One can observe that although the venue has changed, venue has shifted, but the essence of the art form, the tradition of bhakti, did not change. Classical dance moving out of the temple premises is the change that happened, but its adherence to bhakti is the tradition. Bhakti began as a movement in southern India, and it emerged in forms like bhakti towards Lord Shiva, bhakti towards Lord Vishnu, giving rise to the concept of Shaivism, Vaishnavism. And today we see that many of the poems which are written by these Nayanmars and Alvars form the content of Bharatanatyam. The Sahitya or the lyrics that are used in Bharatanatyam, they have a deeper meaning to convey. They are not just romantic songs. Although they seem to portray love and romance in the mundane or the laukika level, but they have an intrinsic meaning which implies a lot of the religio-philosophical significance. The song may seem to revolve around the Nayaka, Nayika, Sakhi, but philosophically at the alaukika level, they are representations of the Paramatma, Jivatma and the Sakhi and the Guru. This bhakti is an intrinsic part of Indian classical dances. At a certain point of time, when the classical dances were a part of the temples, performed by the Devadasis, it was but natural that such themes of bhakti, apart from the secular themes, were a prominent part of the dance repertoire. But even when the classical dances moved out of the temples, the content continued to remain the same. This shows that the adherence of the classical dances to bhakti remains intact despite the changes in venues. All Indian art forms are both entertainment as well as educational, and this applies to Indian classical dance as well. The thematic content of the classical dances are mostly our Puranas, mythology, our epics. And these mythological stories are not just sources of entertainment, because who does not like to listen to a story? From childhood we have been hearing stories and we have been taught, and unconsciously we have imbibed the learnings, teachings from these stories. But these stories, as we know, were always the fountainhead of knowledge and wisdom. They were the wisdom of life itself. So they went beyond the purpose. The art forms went beyond the purpose of just entertainment, and they gave life lessons. And today, in a broader perspective, we can say that they are edutainment, education as well as entertainment. Thus, it is not only the thematic content of Indian classical dances that are related to the concept of bhakti, but also the form of the classical dances. The movements of each and every classical dance does not just appeal to the eye, it is not just a visual treat, but they have a deeper significance. The body of the dancer is like a flower that is offered at the feet of the Lord. This idea is best expressed by the world-renowned Bharatanatyam dancer, Bala Saraswati. She envisaged the entire repertoire of Bharatanatyam as the structure of the great temple. She describes the progress of the dancer performing each item of the repertoire in the sequential order from the Alaripu to the Tillana as a lofty journey that is undertaken by the Bhakta from the entrance of the temple to the Garbhagruha, the Sanctum Sanctorum. She says that while performing the Alaripu, it is as if the dancer, the Bhakta, is entering the Gopuram, the outer hall. When she is performing the Jatiswaram, she is crossing the Ardha Mandapam, the halfway hall. The Shabdam is crossing the Mandapam, or the great hall. And then comes the Varnam, the most challenging of the Bharatanatyam items, which has a judicious and a aesthetic blend of Nritya and Abhinaya, which gives the dancer total freedom for expression and expansion of ideas and thoughts. So performing the Varnam is like nearing the sanctum, the holy place. Always we know that the place very close to the Garbhagruha is extremely pious, pure. And then comes the Padam. To perform the Padam, you need a lot of maturity, emotional maturity, intellectual maturity. The Abhinaya is not superficial. There is great depth in the portrayal of the Abhinaya of Padam, of interpreting the words of the Sahitya of a Padam. So, this is as if one has entered the Sanctum Sanctorum. We are closer, nearer to God. So there is the dark inner Sanctum Sanctorum, which is very quiet. And then the Dillana. It is like that Divaradhana, where you have the camphor burning. Suddenly the dark space becomes full of light, divine light, which is not just the light of the camphor burning. So it is this final burning of the camphor is what the Dillana expresses. What a magnificent thought by this dancer, for whom dance would not just have been a futile exercise of the body and the mind, but a journey of the soul. So, where in Indian classical dance do we see bhakti? What is the relevance of bhakti in today's context? As mentioned earlier, dance was a part of temple rituals. A visit to the temple was a part of everyday routine of the people in the earlier times. Worship was definitely an integral part of the lives of the people. In every home there is a special place which we call as the puja room, or a special corner where we try to attain that peace which is not found in the mundane, monotonous, mechanical journey of our lives. So all these rituals are performed even in the homes, but at a smaller level. This small place of worship in homes were the micro representations of the worship that was performed in the temples, which was at a macro level. So with the passage of time, bhakti was not limited only to the rituals that were performed in the temples. The beginnings of change could be observed when the same bhakti was brought to the temples, to the smaller shrines in homes. The same Shodashopacharas which were performed in the temples were now performed with the same fervor of bhakti at what I would prefer to call the home temples. So although the venue changed, the same atmosphere of the temple got created at the home temple. Times have changed. Lifestyle has changed. And with the hectic schedule, people don't have time nowadays for these elaborate rituals. Neither do they have the time to visit the temples or carry out this lengthy process of offering prayers. But does that mean that the people don't have any bhakti or any devotion towards God? Does it mean that their belief in God has vanished? Not at all. As the classical dances were brought from the temple premises and the sanctity of the temple was preserved at the stage venue, we can see that in the acharya, in the acharas of the dancers. For example, the namaskara, which we take at the beginning and the end of a performance. So that is it is translated as the salutation of the dancer. She's bowing down to God, her guru. The deities of the cardinal directions, that is the Dikpalas, and then, of course, the esteemed, respected audience. This also includes taking the blessings of the Vadya Vrinda, or the musical members of the orchestra, and as well as the Vadyas, or the musical instruments. So in short, it is an obeisance to both art. It is an obeisance to art as well as the artists. Parallel to the Shodashopacharas of the temples, these practices can be viewed as the rituals that are performed by the dancer on the sacred arena of the stage. Another practice that is observed in dancers is bowing down to the stage before ascending it, before climbing onto it. This is because the stage is a very vibrant place. It is called as the Vyasa Pitha. This is the place, the space where knowledge reigns, knowledge rules. Is this nothing but, isn't it a reflection of bhakti? We revere as dancers our salangai or the ghungroos. Our costumes are very sacred to us. In Kathakali, the costumes and the jewelry are called as the kopa. So before they don, they wear this, they pray to it, bow down to it, and then they wear the costumes and the jewelry. During the Navaratri, Dasara, Ayudha Pujas, what do? We place the sacred salangai, the Natuvangatalam, the musical instruments, worship them, bow down to them. In today's world, sometimes classical dances are just looked at as a part of physical exercise. But dancing is not so. It has a much larger role to play in the existence of mankind. Because of the fervor of bhakti, the classical dance is transported to a very higher level. We saw that there has been a shift in the venue from the temple to the auditorium. Now there is a further shift of venue from the temple to the stage to the streets, right? We can see many of the festivals are performed. We have a moving audience. History is a witness that even when in the past there has been a shift of venue from the temple to the stage, there was a fear. Was classical dance losing its sanctity? But did it lose its sanctity? No, it did not. It did not happen so. Why so? Because the aim then, when it shifted, was only preservation and propagation of the art form. That the art form should reach the common people. It should bring it, the arts closer to the common people. Today also the objective remains the same. There may be shifts in venue, but as long as the tradition continues, the same fervor of bhakti is alive, the art stays alive. One can observe that the classical dance traditions in terms of form and content over a period of time, although it has undergone change, but it is still within the traditional framework, it is still having the same flavor of bhakti. I would like to give an example of the well-known, renowned, internationally acclaimed, popular sambar. The dish that we all like here. There's hardly anyone here who would not love the sambar. You must be wondering why suddenly I'm talking about an ordinary thing like a sambar. Let me tell you, I am not feeling guilty about it. We all love to eat food, right? We all love to eat good food. And there's nothing to feel guilty about it because Bharata Muni in his Natya Shastra, in the 6th chapter, when he was explaining the theory of rasa, he explains the meaning through culinary science. So if he can give that example, then why should we be ashamed of talking about food? Because only a true rasika will enjoy good food. And enjoying good food is the test of a true rasika. Vice versa. So the tradition of the sambar has come down to us from our parents, our mother. Then who taught her? Her mother. So from our great-grandmothers it has come down to us. But are we doing it the same way that it has been taught to us? No. Each generation is trying out a little bit of experimentation, change. The sambar that I prepare will be different from the sambar that my mother prepares. I love what my mother prepares. But there are people who love what I prepare also. Right? With every generation, there has been a change. The creativity of the cook has gone into it. But the tradition remains the same as long as you don't put pav bhaji masala instead of sambar masala. Right? gone are the days of the good old sambar. Right? So today also, Bhakti is not only a part of our Indian classical dance, but if we see, look around, we can understand that it is and it should be a part and parcel of our everyday activity, of our everyday lives. Even the normal day-to-day activities must become meaningful and a source of inspiration, which is Bhakti, according to me. Any activity performed with total surrender, faith, honesty, with love, respect, can be defined in today's terms as Bhakti. The one who is revered and the one who is offering his reverence, both become one. There is no duality. And there is only oneness. And this oneness is Bhakti. Let us then share this great tradition that has come down to us, that has been passed on to us. Let us share it with the next generation, with total faith, surrender, devotion, honesty, dedication, and great joy. I am indeed very happy that the tradition of Guruji is being carried forward by Kalishwaran and Dakshinamurti, and many and several of their students who I am sure will carry forward this tradition. Today, I have shared my thoughts with you all with total Bhakti.
That was indeed a very, very touching and divine presentation, Dr. Meenakshi Iyer, Gangopadhyay. We would like to felicitate her for being a part of Kadir Festival and gracing the stage. Please come, Mrs. Ma'am. We now move from Bhakti in dance to more specifically Vishnu Bhakti. We have with us Shri Subramaniam Chidambaram, who will take us musically on a journey through Vishnu Bhakti and Vishnu Sthalams in Dravida Bharata. A little about Shri Chidambaram. Shri Subramaniam, commonly referred to as Subbu, is an electrical engineer by qualification and a postgraduate in management from IIM Lucknow. With 13 plus years of experience in management consulting and industry, he is currently working as Director of Strategy for a leading MNC. He is an MA in Sanskrit, specialization in Vedanta, a diploma in manuscriptology, both from the University of Mumbai, where he is also a visiting faculty. He has formally studied Veda chanting for 8 years and is currently pursuing his doctoral studies on Indic perspectives for modern leadership from Chinmaya Vishwavidyapith. Shri Subramaniam has several papers and articles to his credit published in various national and international journals, as well as presentations in various conferences and seminars. Hailing from a family of music connoisseurs on his maternal side, he was initiated into Carnatic music by his mother, Mrs. Bhagyam. He has had his formal training under Vidushi Srimati Vijaya Vishwanath and Vidushi Srimati Alamelu Mani, and is also trained in Tirupugar, Tevaram songs and rare kritis of Mysore Sadashivarao, Veena Sekshanna and Hari Keshanallur Muttaya Bhagavatar. Shri Subramaniam has been giving many lecture demonstrations and Sangeeta Upanyasams combining his interest and skills of music and Indic knowledge. He has also been hosting a channel on YouTube called Subu's Corner that comprises various kinds of sessions aimed at increasing awareness of our great Indic tradition and knowledge. We would like to welcome on stage Shri Subramaniam Chidambaram.
एकमक्षरं हृदि निरन्तरं भासते स्वयं लिख्यते हृदयकुहरमध्ये केवलं ब्रह्ममात्रम् यमहमिति साक्षात् आत्मरूपेण भाति हृदि विषमनसा स्वं Namaskaram to all. At the outset, I thank Kalashruta and Dakshinamurti for inviting me into this festival and sharing my thoughts today with all of you. I have about 45 minutes now, so I'll try to do justice to what can be done in this time. I do not want to just rush with things, but I'll try to do whatever I can, because Bhakti, Vishnu Bhakti, Vishnu Sthalams, these are topics for days. Right? Each sthalam can be spoken about and sung about for days. Bhaktas have sung about it for their entire life. So what are we trying to do in 45 minutes? So I'll try to give you a glimpse of some of this in this time. Meenakshi ji has already introduced the topic a bit, so let me take it off from there. Bhakti comes from the root bhaja sevaya, to do seva, to do service. It's one of the primary definitions of bhakti. So if you have to do service, you need a bhakta, you need a devata to do service to. And this entire devata and this bhakti takes a more concrete form in the form of the devata and a place where the devata is consecrated. And that is the importance of the Tirtha Kshetra or the Tirtha Sthala. That is how bhakti comes to the temple. or the relevance of bhakti into the temple. People could ask, can't we do bhakti without temples and going? Yes, of course you can, but the starting is always there. All of us are not jnanis already. We need to start somewhere. Now let us come to the bhakti movement. The concept of bhakti, of course, has been there for ages. Vedas also speak about bhakti in a different form. But bhakti as we know today started majorly with the bhakti movement in Bharatavarsha. And the bhakti movement began in the south, in Dravida. Now why did it begin? Krishna has given a universal statement in the Bhagavad Gita. What is it? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yoge yoge. The Bharatavarsha follows what is called as Sanatana Dharma, the Dharma that has been eternal. When that Dharma faces a challenge, due to a number of reasons, these two statements of Krishna come alive. And there is an Avirbhavam, there is an avatar, there is an incarnation in some form to resurrect and bring back this Dharma. So when various matas began to be formed in the form of Bauddha Mata and Jaina Mata, I am being very careful and not speaking about Buddha and Jaina, Mahavira. I am saying Bauddha Mata and Jaina Mata, that is the followers of Buddha and Mahavira. When those matas started, they started with high ideals of ahimsa, satya, ahimsa, the panchashila, etc. But over time they degraded. When these matas became a challenge to the very existence of the Vedic Dharma, that is the time when the Bhakti movement began. The Bhakti movement began in the south, as Meenakshi ji also mentioned, with two prominent sets of devotees, the Alvars and the Nayanmars. The Alvars propagating the Vishnu Bhakti and Nayanmars propagating the Shiva Bhakti. That means Vishnu and Shiva have always been there in our tradition. Very contrary to more popular dialogue and narratives that are going around, right? These are new gods we have introduced. Vishnu has been there from the Vedic ages. He is a Vedika Devata. Vishnornukam viryani pravocayah parthivani vimame rajagum siyo vaskabhaya dustaragum vichakramanastredurugayah, says the Vishnu Sutta. So in the Vedas, the prominent form of Vishnu is that of Trivikrama, the one who measured the 3 worlds with his 3 feet. That is the popular form of Vishnu. But Vishnu has been there right from the Vedic times. Then he became Yajna Samrakshaka Vishnu when the Vedic Yajnas grew, and then he became the Vishnu that we know today in the various Puranas and Itihasas. So this Vishnu Bhakti began with the Alvars as a consequence of the challenges that were posed to Sanatana Dharma. Now, Vedic Yajnas and Yagas at by the time started decreasing or reducing in terms of its performance because people started shifting to the other matas. So the primary objective became, how do you bring back people into Sanatana Dharma? If you tell them to perform Vedic Yajnas and Yagas from the next day, that may not be a feasible option. So how do you get them into something that is more sweet, something that is more attractive? And that is Bhakti. Bhakti any day is, though people can debate and discuss, any day is considered to be sweeter. Narayana Bhattadri says it is Bhakti Gariyasi, it is much more sweeter than anything else, O Guruvayurappa. Right? So that Bhakti attracts people. And to do that, the Alvars began the Bhakti movement. How did they do that? They sang songs. Sangeeta. As Meenakshi ji rightly pointed out, there is nothing in our Sanatana Dharma that is without bhakti. Again, a popular narrative that goes around to say art form is very different from bhakti, and bhakti doesn't need to be in the art form of Bharatavarsha. That is not true. Everything and anything that has developed in Bharatavarsha has only developed from Sanatana Dharma, and it's all been with bhakti. Devoid of bhakti, the art form doesn't exist for us. Who is the authority? Tyagaraja himself says, Sangeeta Jnanamo Bhakti Vina Sanmargamu Varade. So they chose the tool or instrument of Sangeetam to propagate bhakti. And they went from temple to temple and sang songs. These are the Divya Deshams. And the songs codified are the Nalayana Divya Prabandhams. This is the beginning of Vishnu Bhakti in Bharatavarsha. So you had the very Nalayana Divya Prabandham begins by saying, Pallande Pallande Pallayirattande Parakodi Noorayiram Mallandadindol Manivalla Nin Chevvadi Chevvittirukkaapa. It begins by offering Tirukkaapa to the Perumal himself. And of course, you have great saints like Nammalvar. In his Tiruvazhmozhi, he goes on, immersed in Vishnu Bhakti, in Narayana Bhakti. Now, with the Vishnu Bhakti that began in Dravida Desha, you have this Divya Deshams spread across the modern day Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra, and a few in Karnataka, and a very few in the northern parts of Bharatavarsha. So with this Bhakti movement, this Vaishnava Bhakti that began with the Alvars, it was then further taken in different forms in different parts of Bharatavarsha. So this entire Vishnu Bhakti or Bhakti in general took various forms in various regions of Bharatavarsha. In Karnataka Pradesha, we had the avatarana of Madhvacharya, the great Vaishnavite saint. And the entire Vishnu Bhakti in the Karnataka Pradesha was centered around Udupi, the Krishna of Udupi, which was consecrated by Madhvacharya himself. And that is how the tradition of Vishnu Bhakti in grew, I would say. It has always been in existence, but it grew manifold from the time of Madhvacharya. Now the Krishna in Udupi is a beautiful form, right? It is a Krishna standing with the matt, the one to kneel the curd, the rod, right? Now this matt is coming, what is the reference of this coming from? The churning rod. It's coming from the Bhagavatam, which Narayana Bhattadari beautifully encapsulates. He says, Ekada dadi vimata karini mataram samupasedi bhavan stanyaro rupataya nivarayan ankametya pavivan payodharo Sami Pitara Samanga Sankata Krodha Vara Paribhuta Chetasa Mantadandamupagruhya Paditam Hanta Devada Dhivajanam Tvaya. The source, the event comes from Krishna taking the churning rod and breaking the curd pot out of anger when Yashoda did not give him the curd. It is that form of the Lord standing with the churning rod that is captured in a static move and kept in Udupi. So the Lord is coming from this source of the Bhagavatam. This Krishna, this Balakrishna is who is there in Udupi. And of course you have had various dasas over a period of time who have praised and praised the Lord. And then you have the entire Dasa Kuta, which comes from there and goes on. You have the famous song, I'm not going to sing the whole thing, I'll just sing snippets of it. Kashi Pitambaram Kayil Kodanu Pusida Shri Gangamadiyona Krishnani Begani Baro Tahi Gemayali Jagavalu Koido Jagatodharaka the Lord, how they have taken the rasa, and this is a famous song in the Natya Parampara, and because Meenakshi ji mentioned of the great Doyen Bala Saraswati Amma, the way she used to dance to the song brings alive the Krishna right in front of us. So this was the entire epicenter of Vaishnava Bhakti in Karnataka. And then of course it followed by the Dasa Parampara, the Dasa Kota Parampara, the Madhva Parampara, and it went on. Now simultaneously when this was happening, there was another beautiful Vaishnava Parampara that was emerging in our very own Maharashtra. This was the Varkari Sampradaya, the Vitthala Parampara. Around the same time, and that is why you see Purandaradasa is sort of a mishrana between the Madhva Parampara and the Vitthala Parampara. He says Purandara Vitthala. Many of the Madhva Pitas have Vitthala as their Devata. They worship Vitthala in many of the Ashta Mathas around Udupi. So that Parampara of Vitthala, the beauty also of the various kshetras that we have taken today is that even from an iconographical perspective, they represent very unique forms of Vishnu. The normal forms of Vishnu are the Sthanaka, the one who is standing with the Chaturbhuja, the Asina, the one who is sitting, which is rare, not too many, and the Shayita or the Shayana, Vishnu, which we all know about. But these, like Udupi, it is a Sthanaka, but not a Chaturbhuja Vishnu. It is with a Danda or a churning rod. Vitthala is standing with both his hands on his hip, a form you will never see anywhere else. So another unique iconographical aspect of Vishnu that you find. In his Pandurangashtakam, Shankaracharya says, why is Vitthala standing like this? He is standing so that he is giving a message to his devotees that even if you drown in the ocean of samsara, the water will come only up to the hip level. I will protect you. It will get curved there and you will be able to wade across this Bhavasagara. So all Mahatmas have praised and praised this Lord of Pandharapura. So we will sing one abhang praising this Lord of Pandharapur in our own Maharashtra. This abhang of Sant Namadeva, see, the bhaktas can go to any level. That is their prema, because bhakti satvasmin parama prema rupa, says Narada Maharshi. That's the first definition of bhakti. Sadhu asmin parama prema rupa. It is Parama Prema, that is Bhakti. If you have to define Bhakti in one word, it is Parama Prema. That is extreme love. You don't know unconditional love. You don't know why that love is. There is no expectation in that. But it is extreme love. So all the Bhaktas you will find this. So here Sant Namadeva says, first Pandhari was built and then only Vaikuntha came into the picture. So Vaikuntha doesn't exist from eternity. Pandhari exists from eternity. Panduranga came, then must have come Vishnu. Chandrabhaga came, then Ganga, Godavari and others have come. And he declares that Pandharapura is an Avinashi Kshetra. It will never die because it is lying, it is placed on the Sudarshana Chakra. It is situated in the Sudarshana Chakra. Just like Kashi is on the Trishula of Parameshwara, and that is why it is an Avimukta Kshetra. Pandharapura is on the Sudarshana Chakra of Mahavishnu, that is why it is an Avinashi Kshetra. So we will just go through this Abhang.
Amina so pandharpuri
this is an intoxication. It's very difficult to come out of this and go into the next. But let us do that. That's the need of the hour. So let us do it. Let's move from Pandharpura. So Pandhari, the Varkari Sampradaya, as I said, is a crux of Vaishnava Bhakti in Maharashtra. But the beauty, even in the Vaishnava Bhakti in Karnataka or Udupi Sampradaya, these are all Smarta Paramparas. That means they have also given equal regard to Shiva Bhakti. The Santas of Varkari Sampradaya have said that, oh Vithala, you carry Shivalinga in your forehead, on your head. There is a story of Narahari Sonar, who was a great Shiva Bhakta, who would not do anything other than Shiva, and when he was asked to make the kavacha for Vithala, he said, I will not see Vishnu, I am a Shiva Bhakta. So they said, fine, we will blindfold you, and you take the measurements and you make the kavacha. When he goes and he touches the Vigraha, he only can experience Shivalinga. He is not able to experience. When he opens, he finds Vithala standing there. When he closes again, he finds Shivalinga. So he becomes the Vithala Bhakta. So Vithala is a sammishrana, the Vithala Sampradaya is a sammishrana of the Shiva and Vishnu Bhakti. Similarly, though Udupi comes from the Dvaita Parampara of Madhvacharya, even today you will see a lot of the Shiva Kshetras in Karnataka. They all have priests from the Madhva Parampara who are also doing pujas in the Shiva Kshetras. So with this kind of bhakti that rose again and again in Maharashtra, I might also mention here, I mentioned about the need for bhakti coming as a response to the adharma. After this entire Varkari Sampradaya in the 12th, 13th centuries, you had a period where you did not have too many santas coming. And then came the emergence or Avirbhava of one of the greatest saints of the Varkari Sampradaya, Sant Tukaram. And that came as a response to the Mughal invasions. Because that was the time the Maratha Samrajya took birth in Maharashtra. And Sant Tukaram and Sant Ramadas, Samartha Ramadas, in that time period is where the Maratha Samrajya took its force as a Hindu Samrajya and fought the Mughal invasions. So you can imagine, and there's a beautiful story where the Paramacharya of Kanchi says that if it not were for these Marathas, the Mughal invasions would have reached everywhere down south and would have destroyed all the Sanatana Dharma that was there. The Marathas put an end to that right in Maharashtra and did not allow it to go further enough. They still went over the later times, that's a different story. So this is the beautiful Varkari Sampradaya in Maharashtra. Then we come to another great Vaishnava Bhakti Sampradaya in Kerala. I mentioned that Kerala does have Divya deshams. But when you look at the Vaishnava Bhakti in Kerala today, when you say Narayana, the next word is always automatically Guruvayurappa. They go hand in hand. Right? The Vaishnava Bhakti in Kerala cannot be thought devoid of the Kshetra of Guruvayur. And interestingly, Guruvayur is not one of the Divya deshams, but it is an Abhimanasthala. It has been there for ages because it is a Vigraha that was worshipped by Krishna himself in Dwaraka and that came down, and Guru and Vayu, you know the story. But the entire fillip or the boost to that Krishna Bhakti or Vishnu Bhakti in Guruvayur started in the 14th, 15th and 16th centuries with the great saints Melpattur Narayana Bhattadari, Poondanam, Guru Ramma, Vilvamangalam Swamigal and so on. They also worshipped the Lord with Sangeeta and Kavya. So you have the famous Narayaniam, which most of the people here would know. That was the offering of Melpattur Narayana Bhattadari, and that is like the canonical text of Krishna Bhakti. If you are in Guruvayur, that is the canonical text, that and Bhagavatam. These are the two canonical texts that you find being recited day in and day out. When you reach Guruvayur, early in the morning, you have something called as the Vagacharta and the Nirmalya Darshana. Right at 3 o'clock you will stand in the queue, and then the Darshana gates will open. At that time you will hear the music coming into your ears. ഓംകാരമായ പൊരുൾ മൂന്നായി പിരിഞ്ഞുടനെ ആകാരമായതിനു നാഥാൻ തന്നെ സാക്ഷിയതു ബോധം വരുത്തുവതിനു ആളായ നിന്ന പരമാചാര്യരൂപഹരി നാരായണായ നമ നാരായണായ നമ നാരായണായ നമ നാരായണായ നമ നാരായണായ നമ നാരായണ അഖില സന്താപനാശന ജഗന്നാഥ വിഷ്ണു ഹരി നാരായണായ നമ. The Harinama Keertanam will be here. You constantly keep hearing the Harinama Keertanam. These are all saints. Sunjat Tirthachan, Milpattu Narayanapatani, Poondanam, the Jnanapana of Poondanam will keep going on. And that is a kshetra where Krishna shows miracles every moment, if you have eyes to see it. He is only Krishna there, though he is a Chaturbhuja Narayana Vigraha. The Devata is in the form of Chaturbhuja Narayana, but the perception of the Lord there is as only Krishna, because that is how he gave darshana to Poondanam, to Guru Ramma, to Vilvamangalam Swamigal, and host of devotees. That is why in one of the songs, the Bhakta summarizes the entire Dinacharya in the Guruvayur Kshetra. He says, Harinama Keertanam Unarum Pulariyal Tiruvagachattu Njan Orthu Pogum Oru Piniyengannum Aanum Volavidothe Tirumudiyen Tirumudi Oru Neramengilum Aanayende Guruvayurappan. He's summarizing the whole day. He's saying right from the Harinama Keertanam to the Vagacharta to the Nirmalya Darshanam. You present so many forms of Krishna that the moment a peacock feather I see, I'm reminded of your beautiful hair that wears these peacock feathers. And at the end, the Bhakta says, I'm going with a heavy heart out of Guruvayur because all these memories are there in my memory. It's so fresh in me that it's so difficult for me to move away from you. I want to remain forever with you in this beautiful Bhuloka Vaikuntham. So this is the Bhuloka Vaikuntham, the beautiful kshetra of Guruvayur. Now, we have had some, so this is I said 15th, 16th century. So we had the entire Vaishnava Bhakti beginning in the south, it taking its shape in the Karnataka Pradesh in the form of the Udupi and Vaita Parampara, the Varkari Sampradaya in Maharashtra, the Guruvayurappa and Krishna Bhakti in Kerala. Tamil Nadu, Andhra, these have always been rich, have always been with Vishnu Bhakti for a very long period of time. In Andhra, though the Divya deshams have been there and the Vishnu Bhakti has been existing, but the Bhaktas who have contributed hugely, one is Annamacharya, and another is Bhadrachala Ramadasa. And then of course there have been many other santas. Tyagaraja himself takes his inspiration from these saints. Annamacharya, devoting his entire lifetime to Venkateshwara at Tirumala, not thinking about anybody else, just singing there day in and day out. The very first time he sees those hills, adivo alladivo Sriharivasamo padivela seshula padagalamayamo adivo alladivo Sriharivasamo padivela seshula padagalamayamo adivo alladivo Sriharivasamo. So many other saints have poured their bhakti to Venkateshwara. Shri Venkatagirisha Manokaya Vinayaka Tunagarudam Shri Venkatagirisha So many songs in praise of the Lord. The other one is, of course, Bhadrachala Ramadasa. Then we said Bhadrachala. Paluke Bangara Mayana Godanda Pani Paluke Bangara Mayana Godanda Pani Paluke Bangara Mayana. All these songs exist today alive in the Bhajana Sampradaya. Of course, Ranganatha. Who can not speak of Ranganatha, which is referred to as Koyil? The very first Divyadesham begins from Srirangam. Ranganatha is the Kuladevata of the Ikshvaku Vamsha. And that is where Dikshidhar says in his Kriti Ranganayakam Bhavaye that it is one who has been worshipped by Rama and his ancestors. Ranganayakam Bhavaye Shri Ranganayaki Sameretam Shri Ranganayakam Bhavaye. So we thus have taken a very quick tour, a Tirtha Yatra, across all the Divyadeshams. I would like to go on more and more on each of these Divyadeshams, but maybe for some other time. I would like to end or conclude this with a song. How can Vaishnava Bhakti for Bharatavarsha, the first form of Vishnu that we know is Rama. And we of course have had Ramalalla in Ayodhya. So what more of a Vishnu Bhakti sthala without Ramalalla this year? So I will conclude with a song that I had specifically composed for the Prana Pratishtha, composed and tuned, and Dakshinamurti was my accomplice in that. He was my partner in setting the whole thing to tune and putting the tala behind it. So I would just like to conclude with that song. This is welcoming Rama along with Sita, Hanuman and Lakshmana into his home after so many years in Ayodhya. Swagatam suswagatam, swagatam suswagatam, navanavina vinirmite bhavane mandire sitaya sahaswa.
Sunday morning here. I could feel myself in the Kshetrams at so many points when he was explaining. I'm really touched. And I'm sure a lot of the audience members will agree with me that it has been blissful listening to Shri Chidambaram here today. May I request Srimati Kalaa Srinivasan and Shri Dir-Kalishwaran.K to kindly felicitate him. This year is the 15th year of Shanmukha Arts, founded by Srimati Kalaa Srinivasan, and the students have reached a performance level. May I kindly request the audience members to kindly settle down. I hope you can see me better. Okay. So, Srimati Kalaa Srinivasan was looking for an opportunity to collaborate with like-minded institutes and dancers and thereby create performance opportunities for her students. That is something that dance teachers, we are always looking out for, where we can get to present our children on stage. And a casual conversation between Kalaa and Shri Kalishwaran.K gave rise to the idea of Samanvaya, which means collaboration or coordination. Today's event, is the third event of Samanvaya. There have been 2 events in the beginning of this year. In January, there was a Nrityangan workshop conducted by Shri Kalishwaran. In February, there was a dance presentation by Shri Kalishwaran's Natana Kalaa Academy, Kalaa Srinivasan's Shanmukha Arts, and the Nalanda Nrityakala Mahavidyalaya. Today, the third event is a collaborative presentation with 4 institutes. We have Natana Kalaa Academy, headed by Shri Kalashruta and Srimati Jenita Pillai. Shanmukha Arts, headed by Srimati Srinivasan. Nrityangan Academy of Fine Arts, headed by Srimati Dir-Anjana Dongre. And Kalashruta Academy of Performing Arts, headed by Srimati Dir-Vrushali Patkar. A few lines to introduce the participating institutes. Natana Kalaa Academy is a registered dance school situated in Thane and Vasai, directed by Shri Kalishwaran and Srimati Jenita Pillai. The Natana Kalaa Academy has been training aspiring dancers since 2010. Students of the academy have received various accolades for their talent, and they have been performing at various occasions. NK has produced Arambha, a DVD featuring Bharatanatyam basics. Shri Ramacharitam, Ved Shri Ashtitwata, Shodh are some of the dance productions of NKA. The institution also organizes the Kadir Festival, an ode to Vidwan Kalaimamani Shri T.S. Kadirvel Pillai, wherein many stalwarts, including Shri Deepak Mazumdar, Shri Vaibhav Nartaki Natraj, and several versatile arts, including pantomime and musical concerts and bands, have been a part. Shanmukha Arts was founded in 2009 by Srimati Kalaa Srinivasan, a senior disciple of Guru Srimati Jai Shri Nair, who has nurtured Kalaa since the age of 4 and still continues to do so. Shanmukha Arts has been imparting training in Bharatanatyam to children and adults in Bhandup and Ghatkopar. The institute is entering its 15th year this year and currently has over 100 students learning Bharatanatyam through both offline and online platforms. Students of Shanmukha Arts have participated and won in various competitions and have been performing extensively across the country. Srimati Anjana Dongre's Nrityangan Academy of Fine Arts is placed in the heart of suburban Mumbai at Santa Cruz. The academy exclusively imparts training in the Bharatanatyam style of Indian classical dance, exploring the essence of the Kalashruta dance style along with few traces from the Tanjavur style. Nrityangan Academy of Fine Arts was founded in the year 1992 with the solemn objective of inculcating the spirit of the rich cultural heritage of India through the artistic form of dance. In the ocean of talent, creativity and aesthetics, Srimati Anjana Dongre took a small step towards preserving values that personify the classical dance form. The core value of the academy has been to nurture and sculpt students to understand the nuances of dance, which go beyond performance to that of focus, self-discipline, and internal strength, creating an integrated whole of the dance and the dancer. Kalashruta Academy of Performing Arts was founded by Srimati Dir-Vrushali Patkar in the year 2000. It has always been Vrushali's dream to create a learning platform in Panvel where students can receive authentic scientific training and knowledge of the Indian culture and its classical dance. Kalashruta was born out of that dream and continues to deliver on the promise of an exacting and authentic classical dance education. Kalashruta provides diploma courses in Bharatanatyam for students both between 6 to 60, advanced courses, training in classical choreography, and training for students appearing for full-time bachelors in fine arts Bharatanatyam and masters in fine arts Bharatanatyam degrees. The philosophy of the institution has been to impart authentic Bharatanatyam education to its students, along with enabling them to become responsible, disciplined, and empathetic citizens. Without music, there is no dance. Dance cannot exist by itself. And today, supporting us throughout have been this wonderful ensemble of musicians. Kumari Keertana Krishnamurthy will be on the vocals, Shri Dakshinamurthy Pillai on the mridangam, Shri Balasubramaniam on the violin, Shri Raghavendra Baliga on the flute, and Natuvangam by our very own Shri Kalishwaran Pillai. We bring to you in a couple of minutes Vishnu Bhakti, conceptualized by Shri Kalishwaran Pillai and Srimati Kalaa Srinivasan. We would request you to be a little bit patient, so we'll just get the stage ready so you can enjoy the performance. Thank you so much. There is one more beautiful part of the orchestra that I did not mention. Srimati Selvi Dakshinamurthy Pillai will be playing the wonderful sounding instrument, the saxophone.
वनमाली गदीशार्ङ्गी शङ्की चक्री च नन्दकी श्रीमान्नारायणो विष्णुः वासुदेवो विरक्षतु। Sriman Narayana, who wears the garland of flowers and who has the conch and the discus, may that all-pervasive Vasudeva protect us all. After an immersive experience in Shravya Bhakti of Lord Vishnu, we shall now experience him through Drishya Bhakti. We will explore the Vishnu Sthalams established in the Dravida deshams, now known as Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Beginning with the little baby form of the Lord, up to his magnificent form atop the Tirumalai hills, we will explore dance pieces dedicated to these four Vishnu Sthalams, namely Guruvayur, Udupi, Srirangam and Bhadrachalam. Krishna is undeniably Mahavishnu's most appealing form and a favorite for us dancers too. The child form of Krishna or Unnikannan of Guruvayur, Kerala represents his Purna Rupa revealed by baby Krishna to his parents immediately after his advent in Kamsa's jail. Even though the deity is that of Chaturbahu Vishnu or the four-handed Vishnu, the deity is worshipped as the infant form of Lord Krishna. ഗുരുവായൂരമ്പലനടയിൽ ഒരു ദിവസം ഞാൻ പോകും, ഗോപുരവാതിൽ തുറക്കും ഞാൻ ഗോപകുമാരനെ കാണും, ഞാൻ ഗോപകുമാരനെ കാണും.
Kireeta Kundala Dvisha விழிக்கு அமுதூட்டும்
The infant Krishna has grown up to be a naughty boy, the Balakrishnan of Udupi. At such a young age, he has managed to destroy several demons, fight the poisonous serpent, lift the mighty Govardhana mountain, and has also manifested the 10 incarnations. Through all these leelas, he has given us umpteen indications of being the protector of the universe. But does Mother Yashoda believe that?
इक्ष्वाकुवंश प्रभवो रामो नाम जनैश्रितः नियतात्मा महावीर्यो नियतात्मा महावीर्यो द्युतिमान् धृतिमान् वशी धर्मज्ञानसत्यसन्नश्च प्रजानां च हि निरतः नियतात्मा महावीर्यो द्युतिमान् धृतिमान् वशी बुद्धिमान् नीतिमान् वाग्मी श्रीमान् शत्रुनिर्बर्हणः रक्षित जीवलोकस्य धर्मस्य परिरक्षिता रक्षित स्वस्य धर्मस्य स्वजनस्य च रक्षिता रामो नाम जनैश्रितः रामो नाम जनैश्रितः राम 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 ಮಗನೆಂದು ತಿಳಿಯುತ್ತ ಯಶೋದ ಮಗನೆಂದು ತಿಳಿಯುತ್ತ ಯಶೋದ
Krishnan sleeping on Mother Yashoda's lap, to the Ananda Shayanam Ranganatha of Sri Rangam, the Bhuloga Vaikundam. Pachimamalai polmeni Pavalavai kamalachenkan Achudamaraire Ayatanguruttenin Ichuvai tavirayan poi Indiralokamadum Achuvai perinum vende Arangamanagaruladum. This Pasuram from the Divya Prabandham says it all. Sri Ranganathan reclining majestically on his serpent is one of the 8 self-manifested shrines, and this thalam is considered to be the first, foremost, and the most important of the 108 Vishnu temples. Let us all now immerse in the divine verses of the Sri Ranganatha Ashtakam. Rangapura Vihara Shri Rangapura Vihara.
सर्वलोकैः श्रीरङ्गराजे रमतां मनोरे अमोघमुद्रे परिपूर्णनिद्रे श्रीयोगनिद्रे ससमुद्रनिद्रे श्रुतैकभद्रे जगदेकनिद्रे श्रीरङ्गभद्रे रमतां मनो मे रमतां मनो मे रमतां मनो मे भुजगेन्द्रशायी नन्दाङ्गशायी कमलाङ्गशायी क्षीराब्धिशायी वटभद्रशायी श्रीरङ्गशायी रमतां मनो मे इदं विरङ्गं व्यजगामि भारतं पुनर्न च जातमेति पाणौ रथाङ्गं चरणे भुवाङ्गं यारे विहङ्गं शयने भुजङ्गम् रङ्गनाथाष्टकं पुण्यं प्रातरुत्थाय यः पठेत् सर्वान् कामान् अवाप्नोति रङ्गिसायुज्यम् आप्नुयात्
When we talk about the many forms of Mahavishnu, how can we not represent the one who is the current favorite? The one who is responsible for bringing the entire country together in this Kali Yuga? The one who continues to teach us the path of righteousness? The one and only Shri Rama in the temple of Bhadrachalam. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha.
Taratana
amazing forms of Mahavishnu. Do you all hear that? Belonging to this land of Maharashtra, how can we not pay obeisance to the form of Vishnu here? Vithala. I can see the Varkalis coming this way. I am going to join them in singing the name of the Lord. Why don't you all join me?
चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां लोकक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्
request the Vadya Vrindam, the orchestra, to come and join us on the stage.
On the vocals, we had Keertana Krishnamurthy. On the Meenakshi, we had Dakshinamurthy. And on the flute, we had Raghavendra Balivachi. And on the violin, we had Shri Balasubramaniam. You all did a commendable job. Thank you for this beautiful supporting for us. Yeah, and in the Mallari we had Tawil being played by Murthy only, and on the saxophone we had Selvi. Now over to Pratisaka to call upon the dancers. From Natana Kalaa Academy we had Jenita, Rose, Rose de Miller, Varsha Pawar, and Pooja Lakshmi, and our little Krishna, Lishika, and Alina.
Students of Shanmukha Arts, Aradhya Srinivasan, Anvika Nair, Atmaja Iyer, Vaishnavi Chettiar, Spruha Sandhav, Prajwata Gajagos, Sharanya Pillai, Shruti-Priya Shrikant, Urvara Nair, Sneha Kumar, Pooja Shankar, and my dear friend Pratibha, who learned dance with me from my guru, Mother Yashoda.
From Nrityangan Academy of Fine Arts, we have Pritika Pavitran, Jayashri Nair, Keertana Nair, Krupali Sangoi, and Murumai Utikar.
Namaste to all from Kalashruta Academy, Panktisha, Devanshi Dadya, Nisha, Surbi, Janki, Vaishnavi,
Radhika.
Special thanks from us to Vrushali and Anjana, who have been excellent collaborators, wonderful support, and we had a lovely time creating this concept. Thank you so much.
So on behalf of Kalaa and myself, thank you for being an excellent audience. It is so pride for us to give platforms to all our students and collaborate and create new concepts. All I can say is the way things shaped up, it's amazing. It's all God's blessings and Appa's blessings. So thank you and have a great time and keep attending programs and keep supporting artists. Thank you.